Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. So today we're looking at the brand new carinate augment for Magnum. Effectively turns Magnum into smoky. Obviously your shot's not just going to shoot straight, it will still shoot like your typical Magnum shot. But honestly, I'm actually a pretty big fan of this augment. Now unfortunately I don't have it on my main account or on my press account because it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get new stuff on our press accounts. And then on my main account, unfortunately I don't have many rubies, so I'm not able to grind out the minigame like Jumper here is. And again, special shout out to Jumper because he's actually giving me this gameplay to use in my video to show you guys this new augment. As you guys can see, it just shoots insanely fast. Basically the same exact speed as Smokey, normal Smokey, which is pretty darn interesting to see. I mean, it's very sporadic. You kind of have to be getting your shots off a lot. And then with that Magnum aim where it actually shows you where you're shooting, it looks like a lot is going on the screen. Now, obviously this is a big ranged map, a long ranged map, so it looks a little bit weird. Here we're on a different map, not nearly as chaotic. Oh my gosh, the desert map, what a chaotic map. Probably one of the most chaotic maps in the game because it's so flat. There's so many areas people can shoot you from. But man, this augment is very, very cool. It has the same splash damage from what I can tell as normal Magnum. Obviously your damage is decreased by a full 35%, which actually we'll go into the stats right now. So your reload time increased by 60%, your maximum charge rate charges up 60% faster, your recoil is reduced by 30%, your rotation speed is increased by 33%, and your turret acceleration is increased by 33% as well. Now they say one of the negatives is your projectile speed is just basically as fast as normal Magnum. So unfortunately it's not going to be as fast as like a Thunder or Smoky shot. So you will have to adjust your aim accordingly because it does look like a more complicated augment to use. Now it looks very, very good. If you're solid with Magnum and you know how to predict your shots, hit shots directly on, this could probably be one of the best augments for Magnum. Now you do have a bunch of really good augments for Magnum in general, just because honestly Magnum does a crap ton of damage just to begin with. So this augment I think looks awesome. Again, I'm also a pretty big fan of the fact that this augment is just unique. It's unique in general. Now you can say the idea is a little bit boring, but it's unique to Magnum. There's not a Magnum augment that just allows you to shoot extremely fast, which I think is pretty darn interesting. I mean, I hope I get it on my main account. Once I finally get some more points here on the 5th of January, I'll be able to get some rubies and actually grind out the minigame a little bit more. But I'm excited to actually get this augment. You can also see Jumper here using the Magnum ice skin. It looks sick. I mean, with Cryo, it's a little bit harder to tell with the skin on, but I really am a big fan of the Magnum ice skin. It's, again, sucks we don't have a Magnum or an ice hole to pair it with, because I mean, he's right now using Dark Crusader XT. It just doesn't match all that well. Unfortunately, without an ice hole to match with the ice turret, I just couldn't really care less about it. It looks very, very cool and I'd use it, but when I think of like a staple skin in the game, this just doesn't come to mind, unfortunately. And I think a lot more people would enjoy this skin if there was a hole to pair it with, and I don't really know. I've complained about it so many times. Tanki's never really given us an answer as to why there's no ice hole, because the original answer was that they were working on HD turrets, and that was kind of like the free one they were working on for everyone. But now that they finished HD turrets and holes, they don't really have an excuse anymore. So we'll have to wait and see if they end up telling us why there's no actual combo for ice. But hopefully it changes in the new year and we get a lot more combo skins, because it just sucks when you can't pair a really cool new skin with a hole or a turret. Now you also may be wondering why I'm not uploading as many Tanki Classic videos currently, and to be honest, the main reason is I'm a bit afraid to play it. Not because like I'm scared of the game or anything like that, it's more so I'm afraid that I'll ruin my first impressions of the game overall in its current unfinished state, because Tanki Classic is in a very, very, very unfinished state. I hope it's something that we see change really, really fast, because it would suck if we see it in this unfinished state for multiple months at a time. But hopefully Tanki gives us some very solid updates for Tanki Classic, so we're not stuck with this unfinished version of Tanki Classic for too long, because I want to wait until it's at least a little bit closer to the finished product. So I'm not ruining my first impression of the game. I have played a few battles, but I don't want to play too much just because I don't want to get like this solid style stuck in my mind for how it's going to feel, and then maybe it impacts how I think about the game when it fully releases. Now I'm also not live streaming as much just because I've been so busy, and when it comes to Tanki Online, you can't really live stream apart from in the early mornings to afternoons my time, just because the game is dead later in the day. There's so many players from different countries in this game that it's very just hard to stream whenever you want to. Now Jumper did say he doesn't think these clips are that good. I don't know if he's saying maybe the augment's not as good. I mean, the augment is very, very good from what I can tell. And to be honest, it's kind of funny hearing Jumper say the clips aren't that good when honestly, much better gameplay than I could have ever made, because if we're being honest here, people watch my videos more so for the commentary than they do for the gameplay. I just don't play the game enough to really be consistently good anymore, and with the HTML5 version of the game, it's a much different version than we're used to. You have to actually master augments to be really, really proficient with something, and I do think there's a little bit more skill in current Tanki with the mastering of certain augments than there was a little bit in old Tanki. I mean, it's a bunch of give and take, right? But in general, again, huge props to Tanki for not just repeating the same augment series over and over. They did it for Excelsior. I can understand that. They just wanted to add like an artificial boost for health on holes in general. And then now we're getting some more unique augments. I really like the idea. Boxer augments are relatively unique. They've been adding them to a few turrets, but hopefully they don't just spam it for every single turret in the game. But I like getting unique augments. This augment may be OP. Unfortunately, I haven't seen too many people using it, only because it's a relatively new augment and somewhat harder to get in the minigame itself. But again, I'm a huge fan of this augment. I really like the idea of it. Obviously, you guys can see how good it is. It looks really fun to use. I'm excited to actually use it myself, but we'll see how they end up nerfing it in the future, because as we know, Tanki likes to nerf really OP augments after about a month of them being out. Hopefully they don't nerf it to the ground. I think the best case scenario is it gets nerfed a tiny bit, but not to the point where it's unusable, to the point where it's actually balanced. I think that'd be really, really cool. But yeah, that is the carinate augment for the mini game. I forget what tier it's actually in, because if it's too far, that might be rough to grind out. Let's see. Gosh, checkpoint 6. I don't even know. If I grind it out, I would want to get at least Hammer Ice. The thing is, Magnum Ice is very, very cool, but I just never use Magnum. I might use it if I get both the augments and the turret, but I don't know. Magnum's just not that much fun for me to play with to begin with. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you're going to spend any money, go to settings, account, choose a creator tag right here. You could choose mine, or, you know, special thanks to Jumper, you could use Jumper's tag there. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this augment in the comments down below. I'll see you guys in a future video. Peace out, everybody.